Hello, everybody, and welcome back once again to Goonies World. I am Meanie, also known as Ryan, and I am joined, as is custom, by Johnny Farrow, also known as Sean.
Hey, hey, hey.
Goonie, also known as Colin.
Hello.
And Lunicorn, also known as Lynn.
Hey, hey.
And we are jumping back into some old school, not old school Renaissance, but actual old school Dungeons and Dragons.
That's right. It's the Red Box 1981 Moldvay edit of the D&D rules, widely regarded as some of the cleanest and nicest versions of the rules ever created for D&D. Although some of the cruelest and most vicious things I've ever heard one human being say to another have to do with which version of D&D is better. You know, I've heard some hateful things said about level limits for demi-humans and other things. It is amazing what people choose to get upset about in this day and age. But
yeah, don't even get started on like Xbox versus PlayStation or I mean,
I won't. I won't. But our heroes in our campaign, the fighter Dudley Raw Dog Gruff, and the halfling Cosmo Moonfoot, and the elf Emeleth, have left the keep on the borderlands, seeking the caves of chaos. And on their first night in the wilderness, they've encountered giant spiders and a band of wicked men who are plotting an attack on the keep. And through some clever use of ventriloquism, our heroes have delayed at least that wicked band, and returning to camp in the dark, they found a wee little man, bald on top with a fringe of long gray hair, sitting by the embers of your fire. And I believe when you saw him, you said, "What?"
Dungeon Master.
"Oh, that's not my name," says the strange little man as he turns around. "I've just been enjoying the embers of your fire, and you had a bit left of that lovely, what is that, sort of a fish stew you made there in the cooking pot?"
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, I made a bit of a stew, yeah, with fish and some rations, softened in the broth.
That was our stew, though.
Well, I hope you don't mind. I helped myself to just a wee bit of leftovers. Well, I'm not a dungeon master, whatever that is. I am just an old hermit, and I live in the woods. I seek the ways of wisdom that the woods can teach us. And I wonder, when I see folk such as you out here, what would bring you out into the wilderness? To just, camping, I suppose? Little fishing?
He's going on a camping trip, that's all.
Oh, that's all. Well, it's strange. As I was walking my pet through the forest, coming down from the north, just beyond this clearing here and past the road, I noticed two rather dead giant spiders. Not far from here at all. Was that your doing?
Yeah, we might have killed a couple of spiders. What of it?
Well, I just think maybe, and first of all, it's no easy thing to kill a giant spider, so you have my congratulations. But I wonder, did you look very thoroughly through the spider webs there? I think there might have been something that you may have missed.
I don't think I saw anything.
Well, I like to give good advice when I can and steer people in the right direction. Perhaps you'd better go back and have a look.
Yeah, what kind of things did you see in there?
Well, I saw something that looked like it might have a glint of shine to it. A wee bit of metal, perhaps?
Yeah, I think we better go take a look.
Did you see more spiders?
Oh, I don't believe the spiders will come back. Not so soon.
And so, you say you're just a hermit out, wandering around?
Oh, yes, I live in these woods with my pet, and as I say, I seek the wisdom of the woods, and I listen for the lessons that I might hear in the whistling of the of the wind through the trees, or the rustling of the leaves, or the chittering of the birds and other animals, and I seek a communion with nature. I'm just a hermit.
And where's this pet of yours?
I was thinking the same thing.
Oh, my pet is just a cat. He comes and goes as he pleases.
All right, makes sense. So what do you say, guys? We might have missed something, he says. I think we better go check it out, because we might find something shiny and worth something.
Possibly, but I think this guy might be lying.
You think he might be leading us into a trap?
Yes, perhaps he's just trying to get us away from the fire so he can eat the rest of our
Give some to
stew.
his cat, which I don't believe. I don't see a cat anywhere.
Well, I already ate the rest of your stew.
Perhaps you're going to vomit it into your cat's mouth like a mama bird. I don't know why I thought that. Didn't Colin do that?
This is like
baby Albert.
the third.
Yeah, that's
This
what it
is
was,
third
yeah.
consecutive series where we've talked about vomiting into
Right.
someone's mouth.
I know. I don't know what that says,
I don't know.
about us. But no, I don't generally vomit into the mouths of other living beings. Except for that time I had to feed a baby owlbear.
All right. Well, maybe why don't you come along with us as we go check out these webs?
Would that make you feel better? Would that make you feel more trusting in this old hermit?
Yeah, so we could keep an eye on you. Why don't you lead the way?
Oh, well, it's just right this way. I'm sure you remember. And he walks back into the woods to the north, where Cosmo had originally found that boot, and pulled it out from under the bush that was covered with spider webs, but then was surprised by the spiders. And he stands aside and gestures over to the bush. I see right there's a bit of a silver glint. Wouldn't you like to take a look?
Yeah, I think I would.
Is there indeed a silver glint that we can detect? Or
Well, now that again, there was again, there's quite a bit of tree cover, but there's enough ambient light from the moonlight to detect, yes, indeed, a little silvery glint underneath some of the heaviest of the spider webs. Would you guys like to clear them away and see what that is under there?
Yes, I have a tool that might aid us in this
Oh, you
endeavor. I have a 10-foot pole,
Well, that's-
so I shall employ my 10-foot pole.
Well, that's better than some things I've seen a 10-foot pole employed for, and I'm not even going to go there. But we once off mic played the Palace of the Silver Princess, and a 10-foot pole was used for not a very good reason, but we're not even going to go there. Like I said, let your
it was a
imagination-
different time.
Those were different times where you could get away with doing things with a 10-foot pole that you just can't do anymore.
Me too.
Yeah.
Me too.
Leftist media won't let you do whatever you want with a 10-foot pole anymore. But anyway, you take out your 10-foot pole, Emma, and you clear away some of the cobwebs. And indeed, you see a silver glint, and then dunk, a shield falls out of the bush and lands on the ground. It looks like it needs some cleaning up. Do you want to?
Hey, look
Who wants to go
at that.
check out that shield?
well, I assume it's probably too large for Cosmo to attempt to use. It's probably like a human-sized shield.
It's a human-sized shield, and I probably would allow it. I think technically it's something like you're proficient in all weapons and armor as long as they're sized appropriately or whatever. So, but I am not a hard-ass dungeon master. I'd probably allow a halfling to use a human-sized shield.
Well, I mean, if it's taller than he is, that's probably not a very good option for him.
It's probably not taller, but yeah, I imagine it'd be pretty big and bulky and maybe a little silly looking, but he could probably hide behind it completely, Either way, it would be anyone who uses a shield basically gets a bonus of 1 to their armor class, like make your armor class a little lower. But of course, you'll have to go over and pick it up first. Who wants to take it?
Well, I'm the fighter. I don't think anyone's going to argue with that.
Well, that's true, but you also have a two-handed sword that would be very difficult to use with a shield.
Yeah, that's a tough one. I think I'd have to pick the two-handed sword. Yeah, why don't you pick it up there, elf girl?
I shall
I think that is the next most appropriate.
inspect the shield.
Okay. Well, you go over and bend over to look at the shield, and then suddenly there's a ha! And the little hermit, completely by surprise, runs up and leaps onto your back and stabs you.
He's a murder hobo.
And hits you, in fact, Amaleth. It's a +6 to hit, by the way. And it's a normal 4, +4 because of a backstab, but another +2 because of his madness. And he does double damage, but it only rolled 2. So that's 4, but he gets another +2 because of his madness for 6 points of damage. You're completely surprised on this round from the backstab from that mad hermit. And then there's a sound from above you. Wow! And a mountain lion leaps out of the tree and attacks Raw Dog, being a great big guy. And he, so your armor class is 4, correct, Raw Dog?
Yeah.
And he misses you the first time, hits the second time for 3 points of damage, and then bites you. He does a claw bite, but he misses you with the bite. And now, that was a surprise round. And now you guys can roll initiative. Why don't you roll the initiative for us, MLS, since you're the first one to get attacked? The other side has a 3. What do you have?
I also have a 3.
Technically, I believe it's simultaneous, but I always have you win ties, as with many other editions. And so here we go. Anyone doing any missile fire first? Of course, you're all right here pretty darn close, and probably the only person who could get away with stepping away and firing a missile would be our little friend Cosmo.
And I don't think that would be his first instinct. I think he would be likely to be reaching for his short sword first, with everything so kind of close here.
Yes, I think you're right. And the little mad hermit has an armor class of 4 due to the leather armor he's wearing underneath his russet-colored robes.
Right. Well, and you said there's we've got the hermit and his mountain lion.
Mountain lion pet, just a cat, he's a pet cat.
Kitty. Are either? Well, I guess it doesn't really matter for me to attack. So I'm gonna take a swing at the. Oh, that's not gonna hit. I am certain of it. Yeah, it's not even on the THAC0 chart. I rolled a 3, so he misses completely.
All right. Well, swinging and missing in the mad hermit, Cosmo does his best. Amaleth, what about you?
I'll be swinging my sword.
All right. At who? The mad hermit or the
Find the
mountain
right.
lion?
The man.
Okay. Again, his armor class is 4, and the mountain lion's armor class is 6. By the way.
Ooh. Oh. Never mind. That was the wrong dice. I was all excited.
You rolled the wrong dice.
I was all excited because I rolled a 10 on a D8.
Well,
What?
That doesn't work.
no. But it sounds like you hit him. Did you actually roll the hit, or have we been playing so much into the odds?
No, I am apparently playing another game where we don't roll the hit.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. You rolled a hit, and you want to hit armor class 4, of course, which for you, Amaleth, you will need a 15 or better.
I missed.
Oh, no. Now, how about Raw Dog?
I am going to swing my two-handed sword at the cougar.
Yeah, the big... yeah.
I was gonna make a joke about the elf, but yeah.
Yeah.
Well, she is older woman, technically.
True. Yeah, technically, I guess, yeah. Being an elf. But anyway, yeah, you can check that mountain lion. Its armor class is 6, and of course, for you, Raw Dog, to hit armor class 6, you'll need a 12 or better.
Okay.
And here comes that big sword.
And I got a 15.
Okay, you hit him. Now you can roll damage.
Okay. Seven.
Okay, that's not bad at all. And terrible cry of pain from the mountain lion. And then it's going to be the turn of our friends. That mountain lion lays it all into you. His whole claw bite, raw dog, and coming back. And he's going to miss you with the first claw and the second one. And he misses you with the bite. He rolls a 4, 4, and a 6 for those attacks. So lucky you. Meanwhile, our little friend, the mad hermit, is kind of giggling maniacally. There's now like a 3-foot streamer of drool coming out of the bottom of his lip as he attacks you, Emeleth, with his dagger. And I don't think he's going to hit you because you, being an elf and being all plated up,
Yes.
yeah, he is going to hit you. He's got exactly what he needs to hit you, and he is going to do 5 points of damage to you. Now, and that is, of course, he just really rolled a 3, but he gets a +2 damage due to his madness. So now it's your turn again. What are you going to do? Any missile fire? That's happening first? Probably not. Any spells? No spells. All right. How about you, Raw Dog? Let's go with you this time.
All right, I will swing again at the cat.
You're still hitting that big cat.
People need to start specifying the size of things. First, Cosmo said there were spiders, didn't say there were giant spiders. Then this guy says cat, not saying giant cat. Let's see if I can... Ooh, natural 20.
Oh, my goodness gracious. It's going to hit for sure. Take your double damage on that.
All right. Oh, I rolled a 7 again, so 14.
Oh, my goodness. Well, guess what? It only had 15 in the first place, and you'd already done 7 points of damage to him. So you slay the mountain lion, Raw Dog, the mighty fighter. There's a cry of dismay from the mad hermit. And what do you do, Cosmo?
Well, Cosmo's going to take a swing at the mad hermit. Ooh.
Don't you do it. Don't you do it. His armor class is 4.
Is 4. So let's see. Cosmo needed a 14 and got a 16. So that will
here it comes.
hit.
Here it comes.
Let's see. So that's going to be a D6. And he rolls a 4.
Okay. He cries out. And Emeleth, what do you do?
In Legolas-like fashion, I will be swinging around my sword.
Okay.
I missed.
Oh,
Not
and
critically.
you miss. Okay.
I missed.
Our mad little friend, if he was less crazy, he may have missed his morale check there and run off. But, he's a little bit crazy, and he doesn't do that. He does like to attack the last person, who tried to strike him, though. So he attacks you, Emeleth, and once again, he is going to... This time he gets 2 better than what he needs to hit you, so he does hit you, and you've taken some damage already. I only rolled a 1, though, so 3 points of damage from him. And that is it. And it is your turn, and let's go with you this time, Emeleth, since this is all just a big cluster. See if you guys can put this mad little hermit down, this little troublemaking hermit.
Look, you mad little hermit. Quite almost dead, and you ate our stew.
Mad am I?
Oh, I got a nat 20.
Oh, my goodness gracious. We're just nat 20s flying all over the place around here. Go ahead and roll your damage and double that.
8.
Okay, that's the You rolled a 4, so double is
Yes.
8. Okay.
Yes, unfortunately, that is after
right.
the doubling.
Well, you've not put that little guy down yet, but you've certainly hurt him bad. He staggers backwards, and Cosmo is there to do what? A little stabby stab.
Slashy slash will be attempted, and he rolls a 16 again.
All right.
So, again, will hit, and this time, but only rolls a 1 for damage.
Only rolls a 1. Okay. He does cry out still, though, and he's still a little staggered. You look like he's hurt pretty bad. How about Raw Dog? Can you finish off this mad little bandit, or this mad little hermit?
Well, I'm going to do a little hacky hack. Yeah.
Hacky hack with some slashy slash, some hacky hack.
Yeah. Oh, shit. That time, I only rolled a 3.
Oh,
He's too
okay. Only
spry.
rolled a 3. Okay. All right. Well, our little friend is going to run. Oh, that friend is going to run. That's for sure. And he's going to attempt a fighting withdrawal. And he backs up slowly, but he's moving very slow. He does have enough room to back up, and just moves and tries to get away. Do you guys want to pursue him?
Yeah.
Definitely going to
Chase him
fire
down.
an arrow at him.
Oh, okay. If you're going to fire an arrow, let's let that arrow fly first. Here comes the singing of the elven bow rings out. An arrow speeds through the darkness towards the mad hermit
And misses him.
and misses him. What about you, Cosmo? What are you doing?
Yeah, I think he would attempt to switch over and fire a quick arrow himself.
Okay, they'll need a 13 or better now.
Yeah, he rolls an 8.
Okay, how about you, Raw Dog?
I'll chase him down.
All right, you charge forward, and he's only got to move half his movement rate. You can move your full, so you can easily catch up to him. And give him the stabby stab or the slashy slash or the hacky hack, as you see fit.
You know, a little bit of both. Oh, my God, I rolled the same thing. 3.
Oh, no, that's just not gonna do it. He is now, however, in full-on retreat. He is no longer attempting a careful fighting withdrawal. He is running into the trees. That'll give you, Raw Dog, you can go ahead and make an attack on him with a +2 to hit.
All right. God, I rolled a 3 again.
Oh,
So 5,
well.
but, you know.
Now he is now. It's dark enough now. He's disappeared off into the darkness, and you can't get a good line of sight. If you guys want to chase him into the woods and try to track him down, maybe you can do something about it. Otherwise, you have to let him disappear into the night. You do feel like he's really hurt. Like metagamingly, he might have like 1 to 3 hit points left somewhere in there.
I think Cosmo would be inclined to actually pursue him just because letting him heal up and come back and try again or do this to somebody else is not
Right.
Right. Well, why don't you just charge off into the well, you crash into the undergrowth. Like I say, it gets pretty tangled here, but you can move your full movement rate though, and he is now, of course, also moving his full movement rate, but he's in full on retreat. He's not even trying to defend himself, so you can catch up to him and go ahead and make an attack against him at a +2.
Emeleth is in pursuit as well.
yeah, so this is he's gonna, I mean, he's just charging in with his bow, like pulled out and knocked in additional arrow, and he's just gonna try to shoot him in the back. Oh, that's docked.
Dock die.
It looked like it might have been a 2 actually, but
When it's a 2, it's docked. When it's a 20, it's not.
Exactly.
Those are the rules.
That is so true.
That's what the rule says right there.
Well, it was divine providence because when I re-rolled it came up a 2. So
Oh, okay. Well, it was just meant to be. MLS, it's up to you.
All right.
Don't forget your +2 to attack him because he's in full retreat. All right. Now let's roll that damage. Let's roll that damage and see if the Mad Hermit will be no more.
6.
All right. With a terrible, ragged scream, the arrow buries itself in the mad hermit's back, and he collapses onto the leaves and tangled vines
Crazy little
of
bugger.
the forest floor. Do you want to search his body?
Abso-freaking-lutely.
Okay. Well, now he probably has like a lair or a hiding place somewhere where he might have more stuff. How anyone would go about finding that in the middle of the night, I don't know. But on his person right now, you do find a potion stuffed in one of his pockets. You're not 100% sure what it does. It doesn't look like red drink or a healing potion of any kind. It looks like something else. In fact, you try to get a look at the liquid, and the liquid seems absolutely clear. It's almost like an invisible liquid. You can shake it and, tell there's liquid in there, but you can't see it at all.
Give it a smell.
And it smells like nothing.
It could just be water.
Yeah, and then you realize instead, it's not just clear. It's like you can't see it at all. It's almost like the liquid itself is invisible.
Oh, it might be empty.
But you can hear the liquid sloshing around and feel it. It's quite strange. And then his dagger has a nice little sheen to it. You realize the dagger that this mad hermit was using. And I believe I don't think any of you uses a dagger as their main weapon. But this is a fine dagger. In fact, it is vaguely magical. And it is a dagger +1. It provides +1 to hit and +1 damage. Of course, it's still just a D4 weapon. Nevertheless, there may be certain creatures that can only be hit by magical weapons and whatnot, so it never hurts to have one around. And that's what you find. If he's got any money or other stuff, he must have it hidden away somewhere. And whether you want to go traipsing around in the darkness in the tangled, gnarly woods at night looking for wherever he might live, I don't know.
Nah, I don't know. I mean,
As much as I would love to find his lair, I do have 3 hit points right now.
Oh, yeah, but I was just thinking, if whatever direction he was running in, it's probably straight back towards his hut or whatnot, right? So if we go there, he might have our healing potions or all sorts of things. He could have a spot where we could have a nice rest without being bothered.
yeah, he might have more potions there. And maybe
Yes,
a hoard of gold he's keeping.
Excellent thinking.
Or I suspect that potion right there we've got, which doesn't seem to have anything in it, that's probably invisibility right there, because it's sort of invisible liquid, so it might probably make you invisible if you drink it.
You do feel like your intuition tells you you're probably right about that. It's probably a potion of invisibility, but you never know when something like that could come in handy. But do you guys want to take? I know Amaleth's hurt. Do you want to take a few quote-unquote turns or 10-minute increments to look around in the direction he was moving and see if you can't find some kind of lair?
Might as well.
Yes.
Well, I know you guys, you'll definitely need some light, but I know you guys have torches and whatnot. And you can light your way, creep deeper into the woods. And soon, and you do see a great big oak tree. I mean, it's just noteworthy for just how big it is. And there's a great big thick bush right by the bottom of it. But even that big thick bush is not enough.
Yeah, I like him bushy.
Even that untamed bush is not enough to hide the crevice that you find in the base of the tree. There's an entrance to the hollow oak that is concealed by a thick bush. Would you like to crawl through the untrimmed bush and into the hole?
I do have some experience with this.
Oh, it's so much better when it's not intentional.
Yeah. Well, who crawls in there first?
Well, maybe we could trim it down a little bit first,
Just do a landing strip, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I do think it makes sense if I go first because I'm the smallest. We could warm it up a little.
Yeah, sure, yeah.
All right. Foreplay. All right. Well, just why don't you crawl in first there? And remember, this guy, this hermit, he was little. He's not like a halfling, but he was like really little. And so yeah, Cosmo, you poke your head in and you hold the torch up, and you can see there's a mound of leaves in the corner. It must be like his bed, and there's a couple of bits of crude furniture in here. Even a little table with a little cup and plate made of wood. None of this stuff seems like it has any value whatsoever unless he's hidden something in here. Where would you want to try to look?
Well, I think the pile of leaves is a pretty good place to start. I mean, there's no obvious like chest or anything like that.
No, but when you start messing around with the pile of leaves and scooch some leaves out of the way, you can see there's some disturbed dirt underneath there, and looks like there might be something buried there, and maybe not very deeply either. Now, I know you guys probably don't have a shovel or anything like that, but if just a few inches of dirt, a dagger or a short sword should do the trick of clearing it away. And when you do find a small chest. And it does not appear to be locked, and inside it you find 31 gold pieces and 164 silver pieces. You do not, sadly, find any sort of healing potions or anything like that. I will remind you that on the way out of the keep you bought a scroll from Lanslet, the fleeing acolyte who was giving up the life and going back to the realm. And that had 3 Cure Light Wounds spells on it. Now, purists will crucify me here, but a Cure Light Wounds spell cures D6 plus 1 wounds. I'm giving the maximum amount in this particular game on Cure Light Wounds spells. It will always be 7 when you use them. I'm not making people roll for that. I know a lot of old school players love the idea that characters die constantly. They think that somehow, makes the game better. I never have thought that way. But, I mean, there should be a risk of death, but especially here on a podcast, we're not going to stop and roll up another character unless we absolutely have to. So I feel quite justified in assuming that any such spell will grant the maximum amount of points back. And
Thank you. Oh, and I should specify that I did grab the shield. So does that lower me to an armor class of 1, or?
It actually lowers you to an armor class of 0 because it is a +1 shield.
That's awesome.
Yes. You're now very hard to hit. Very hard to hit.
And I think Cosmo would probably take the dagger if Raw Dog wasn't going to give up his 2-handed sword for it.
Yeah.
I think that's a good choice.
You allow it.
Yeah. And so one of the Cure Light Wound spells, when you read it off, magically disappears from the scroll, but you have 2 Cure Light Wound spells left. Does anyone else feel like they need one of those?
Well, I wasn't going to mention it, but I'm feeling a bit under the weather. But, it's not like I need some elf lady taking care of me like I'm a, sick little child or something. I can tough it out.
What are you turning into a dwarf now? Your hateful elven speech.
I got nothing.
So rude.
It's not about elves. It's just, I can take care of myself. I don't need anyone else, being my nanny.
Well, that must be true because I believe that Cosmo and Emeleth both split the cost of this scroll in the first place, and you contributed nothing.
That sounds right.
Yeah.
Well, because he spent it all on booze or something.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, you spent it all on booze and got some some extra.
Oh,
rumors.
that's right. He did.
Yeah.
He did spend it all.
Yeah.
Well,
But if you guys want to, you can cure your good friend Raw Dog of 7. He can get 7 hit points back at least.
Well, how much is he down?
I have 12. I was at 21, so I'm not like real low.
Well, but that's more than 7 gone. I mean, Cosmo doesn't have a problem with letting him use it, but at the same time, I don't recall right off what like the sort of natural healing rate is. I'm sure it's low as shit, but
It's low as shit. It's actually 1d3 per night, which is better than some. For a full day, it's actually for a full day of rest. I mean, you have to like give up a day and just rest and get D3 back. Again, for purposes of this podcast, I'd probably make it the full 3. Longer campaign, I might not be quite as generous.
so I'm still down.
yeah.
8.
It's a dangerous world out there.
Yeah, I was down to 3. I was hurt pretty bad.
So we,
I don't even think Cosmo got hit.
yeah, I think I did take some damage, and I had some damage from or I don't know. Did we
earlier?
Yeah, from the spider.
I think you did take damage earlier. Yeah, yeah. Well, it is a dangerous world, And actually, I mean, in old D&D, there was a pretty high death rate. I mean, and it wasn't that big a deal. You just, you roll up a new character real quick.
Right.
Hey, I don't know if that works real well on a podcast. What are we going to do? Stop for half an hour? That doesn't mean I'm going to magically keep people alive, but I'll do what I can with max awards on, healing and whatnot. But, if somebody dies, they die.
Yeah.
Yep.
But I've never liked this whole evil DM grins sort of, fuck with the players, which unfortunately you do see a lot of,
You do.
Yeah. So that's where you find yourself, and man, I think it's been a long day of travel. You walked all day out in the wilderness. You have had quite a bit of adventure already, maybe more than you want, and you haven't gotten anywhere close to the Caves of Chaos yet. Do you want to get some sleep for the night?
I think we better spend the night here. Get
If
3
there's
points
enough
back.
room to like lay down and have a rest at this hermit's tree, that would be a good spot to do it.
Well, like I say, you'll have to rest for a day. Nobody'll be spending the night and waking up with 3 more
So
hit points.
it's that.
You're going to have to take a full day's rest, but you can do that, and we can play through it. Or,
Yeah, I think we have to, pretty much.
Well,
Cosmo would be happy to, have a day where his friends are convalescing in the dead hermit's tree hideout, and he goes out and forages for whatever fresh, berries and nuts and such he could find in the forest.
oh yeah, and we have established, that there was quite a bit of that around, as well as you're still pretty close to the river here, so there's also that supply of fresh fish. So let's say you guys do that. You take a day. You take a sick day. You call in into the Caves of Chaos, tell them you can't make it today.
Yeah, we're going to be a little bit delayed. Yeah,
Yeah,
Run into some trouble.
they take off one from your personal days that they allow you, and you guys rest all day and massage your stiff joints and enjoy. You sit in the bushy crevice and massage your stiff joints.
Well, I don't know why my fucking brain, man. You say like massage and stiff in the same sentence, and I can't not laugh.
Well, there's something about playing 1981 Red Box D&D that brings us back to the mentality that we had in 1981.
That's right.
Although
Right.
I was 4.
you were 4, Goonie was 1, I was 9, and
I was
Lynn
11.
like 10 or 11. Yeah. But
10 or 11.
But anyway, it wouldn't be the first time that immature jokes were made while playing Dungeons and Dragons.
Or on this show.
or on this show, where despite being a bunch of 40 and 50-somethings, we can still be quite juvenile, and more often than not.
Keeps us young.
We're very mature. We're so
Keeps us
mature.
young. That's right. Well, you guys take a long rest that day, and you get 3 more hit points back from resting, okay? And I know that's not going to do the trick entirely, but you might be a little concerned now. I mean, you've got, one more Cure Light Wounds spell left to use.
Well,
we have 2, because I don't think, did Raw Dog end up using one or not?
Well, I was going to leave it up to you.
Oh, I thought he did, but...
No, I
Okay.
said...
well, you should.
Okay.
I didn't know if I could even
should.
cast it.
Oh, well, ignore your wishes.
Well,
and
anybody
cast
can read
it
a
upon
scroll,
you
I think.
anyway.
Yeah, anybody can read a scroll. And it magically... So you do get 7 back
He
for
does that during the night when people are sleeping and nobody sees him do it, because he's a bit embarrassed
Yeah.
that he needs a spell.
Can't let him see it. Don't show any signs of weakness.
That's right. Yeah. And, but, they're going to know you did it because the text magically disappears from the scroll.
Wasn't me.
Yeah. But it's, as I say, the forest is a somewhat pleasant enough place in the daytime. And just stick in close. There's no further incident that day of rest. And so on the 3rd day, you do no traveling on the 2nd day. On the 3rd day, you guys travel on, and luckily for you, it's a long day of hard travel, but the day passes without incident. But the forest and the road kind of curves straight north here, by the way. As you're walking along it, the higher ground that had been directly north of you is now directly west of you and is on your left. But of course, there's forest on either side. It just, there's a hill, and there's always rising ground on your left as you keep walking, and the forest becomes more gnarly and tangled throughout the day. But in the blood-red glow of late afternoon, you do come across a place where the strange growth suddenly ends, and you step out of the thicket into a ravine-like area, almost like you're at the mouth of a canyon. And it's cut into that high ground on your left to the west. And the walls of it rise rather steeply to either side to a height of about 100 feet or so. It's dark, streaked rock mingled with earth. And there are clumps of trees growing here and there, both on the floor of the ravine and up the sloping walls of the canyon. And this opening that you stand in is about 200 feet wide, and then the ravine runs at least 400 feet west or deep to where it ends in another steep slope. And here and there, at varying heights on all sides of the ravine, you can see the black mouths of cave-like openings in the rock walls. The sunlight is dim, as I say, and red in the late afternoon, and the air is very dank. There's sort of an oppressive feeling here, as if something evil, not just evil, but evil. Is watching and waiting. There's some bare dead trees here and there, and upon one of them there's a vulture perching and gazing at you hungrily. And as you appeared and came out of the thicket, a flock of ravens rose up, croaking.
It's called
beat of their wings, and their cries is all magnified by the terrain. It's really loud and horrible. And there are also some bits of gleaming ivory and white along the ravine floor, and you realize those are some bones and skulls. And you know that you have certainly discovered the Caves of Chaos. Now, the closest of these cave mouth entrances, there are some kind of down and to the right, and there are some entrances on the left. And I know that you have strong feelings about which entrances you were going to go into, because Nickel, who you deemed to be untrustworthy, back at the keep on the Borderlands told you that when he came in, he went up and to the left. He said that you should go down and to the right, because up and to the left would be much too challenging for you. You didn't believe him.
Well, and I think that he proved to be untrustworthy by virtue of the fact that we found his dudes that were going to attack the keep. So,
yeah, he certainly is an untrustworthy person. Whether or not he was specifically lying to you about this, we don't know.
Right.
But,
yeah. I think, like, we can go up and to the left. I think it's more important because of his distrustworthiness is that we don't go down and to the right.
Sure.
You see what? So I mean, we could pick a different hole.
Maybe if there's a hole that goes straight in center. We don't do either of these options. If we can find a hole, it's just right down the center.
Well, that's another option as well. You'd have to walk kind of all the way, down that 400 feet, in between the two sides of the canyon. In terms of, there doesn't seem to be any entrances immediately on your right. It's actually one on the right about halfway down. To the left, if you did want to go up and to the left, there's a cave mouth here on the same level as you on the ground, not very far away. And then on a little bit higher up the slope and further along, there's another open cave mouth. And then pretty high up the slope, about 75 feet or so, you see there's, in fact, it's about 100 feet up, you see there's another cave mouth. And those are the entrances on the left, if you want to take the entrances on the left. Or do you want to go down to the end of the ravine and see if you can find one? There are some big clumps of trees, like I say, so you can't see, you don't have a perfect line of sight to see if there's something in the exact center, at the crotch of the ravine, as it were. There might be a hole in the crotch area, but it's covered with trees and bush, so you can't see. You could go immediately into the left, or you could take that one on the right after all, or you could go forward and just get a good overall view of the situation. What do you think?
I always like to take the easiest route. That's how I've succeeded in life. So rather than climbing up a bunch of, a steep cliff, trying to get into those holes, take the easiest hole. That's what I always do.
I think that makes sense to me. Just slide right into the easiest one.
Cram it in, yeah. Wait, what were we talking about again?
They're all the same. I was looking for the easiest hole.
Yeah. Well, if you're talking about, the ones on this level, then you want to go to the one on the right about halfway down, or the one on the left that's not very far away from you. That's certainly the easiest hole. It's not up and to the left, but it's left.
Well, yeah, why don't we check out this one on the left?
Okay. If that's the easiest one,
Yep.
I'm in.
All right. Now, as you guys approach, like I said, there are some clumps of trees. And MLS, you actually notice, because you're really good at noticing things that have been hidden, either on purpose or on accident. And a little further down and a little bit up the slope, but not very much, just like about 10 or 12 feet. Behind and hidden behind some foliage and some nasty trees with some unwholesome looking leaves, you actually see there's another cave mouth too that had been hidden. That is slightly up and to the left. That's a little further along than this easy hole. Now, do you want to go into the easy hole, or do you want to go into that cave hole that seemed hidden?
Companions, there's something hidden away.
Well,
I should think that if it were hidden, that might promise greater treasure.
I'm intrigued by hidden holes, even more than easy holes.
Yeah. Well,
Perhaps we'll find glory.
If it's hidden and easy at the same time, that's a double win.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, if you guys want to do that, then passing by that dark cave mouth that was down here on the same level, you pass by, that nothing rushes out at you or anything like that. It's just a dark hole. Well, you crunch through the undergrowth and this unwholesome-looking trees and bushes, and the hidden cave mouth. You can see there's a strong, sour odor coming out of it. It doesn't seem really all that deep. When you poke your head in to get a look, now it's already starting to get kind of dark. I'm going to assume you don't have torches out yet until you tell me that you light them. But there's just enough ambient light for you to be able to see. And also, remember that elves don't have night vision, and they have infravision. It's full-on, like, predator-type vision. So
Right.
you'd see things that emitted heat. But as I say, there's a sour smell. There's just enough light left that in the southwestern part of this cave, it seems like the skin of a huge bear. It's obviously not a living bear laying there. Someone seems to have killed a huge bear and might be using its skin for a bed. In fact, you can see some leaves sticking out from underneath it. There's also a further cave mouth in there that leads a little further off to the east. Do you want to light some torches and go in there? Because you'd probably have to go any further at all, and very soon you're going to lose what little ambient afternoon light there is.
Yeah, since I'm holding my two-handed sword, I think somebody else has got to be the torch bearers.
Torch boy. Well,
I wouldn't be able to hold one very high, I assume, but I do have a lantern, though. So
well, that sounds like a good idea. You can hold a lantern. So you light that up. And yeah, indeed, once you get some light in on this situation, and you haven't made a lot of noise yet or anything, but there's definitely a big bed with a heap of leaves underneath it, and this huge bear skin on top of it. And again, there's that other doorway. That's not a doorway, but another cave mouth that's further in there. There's nothing else in this room except for that bed. Do you guys want to creep in and poke your heads around and see what else is in that next room?
I think so.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Why wouldn't you? Okay. Well, you guys creep in. And, of course, you got the lantern lit now. And you're halfway across the outer chamber when there's a huge roar. And running out from that eastern cavern is an immense, nasty ogre. He's big. And he rushes out to attack you. You're not surprised. We're going to roll initiative. But I hate to tell you, our friend the ogre just rolled a 6.
Oh, dear.
So you'll need to roll a 6 to tie him. Using my house rule of you tie, you win ties.
All right. Well, should I roll?
Yeah, why don't you roll?
Lucky 6. Come on.
Lucky 6, come on.
5. Fuck.
Oh, no. Well, he rushes out and attacks what looks like the most dangerous thing to him. And it is not the great big fighter type guy who he seems to fear and hate the most, but it is the elf.
Of course it is.
And the great ogre comes out and attacks you. He rolls a 17, so he hits you, because he would have needed a 16. Okay. And so he hits you for 7 points of damage. You've lost the 7 that you just got back. And as you stagger backwards by the blow, what do you do, Raw Dog? Your elven friend has been attacked by this hideous big ogre.
Attack!
All right.
And, fuck. It's a miss.
It's a miss. Yeah, I should probably tell you, the armor class of this ogre is 4. And what about you, Cosmo Moonfoot?
Well, I don't think I have. I'm assuming this is going to be a large creature.
He is a large creature, so you have a +2 AC against him, I believe.
I was going to say, I don't think I have a bonus to attack against.
No.
Yeah. And his AC is, you say 4A.
4, and that's correct. You do have a little +1 dagger now, but your short sword might be better choice for damage. I don't know.
Yeah, it is. Well, it's not that much better. It's 2 to 5 versus 1 to 6, so it's almost the same, really. So he's going to be using the dagger because it gives him that extra +1, which he does not need because he rolls an 18.
Okay, there you go.
So let's see here with the D4. Oh my, that is going to be a 5 points.
Okay, 5 points. And so you hit him. He cries out with, you're not sure if it's pain or annoyance, but Emeleth, what do you do?
Magic missile.
Which probably should have gone first, technically.
That's true. That's true. And again, I'll try to remember to say missile fire first, then spells, then melee. That's just the way it works in this system. But somewhat out of sequence, you hurl the magic missile at him and do how much damage?
3.
Okay, well, you've done 8 points of damage total to the ogre. And this time he turns around and takes a great big swipe at you, Raw Dog, and
I didn't even hit you.
He's definitely going to hit you with a 15, and he'll roll his damage and does 8 points of damage to you, Raw Dog. This great bony fist, and then Cosmo, let's jump to you. Well, is anyone going to use missile weapons against him? No? Okay. Anyone going to use spells against him? No? Okay, we'll jump straight to the melee. Cosmo.
And once again, with his stabby dagger. Oh, natural 20. Holy shit.
Oh, this is what we need. This is what we need.
Get it.
And I'll probably roll a fucking 1, but it's still +1 and doubled, so.
Yeah, that's true. We need roll that 4. Come on.
And, well, unfortunately, that is going to be a 1. Do I double it before or after the plus? Well, let's say 4.
Yeah, let's say 4. All right, that sounds good to me. You guys have done 12 points of damage now to the ogre. Raw Dog, what do you do?
All right, using a different die because the last one was acting a fool.
And of course, keep in mind you're fighting in the cave, and really the most of the light you're fighting by is the lantern. So there's kind of this swinging, light. Lighten up your fight, and it's a rather grim situation.
All right. That's still a miss. Okay,
you missed. So we're going to go ahead and move on to its turn, and just because it's mean and it wants to pick on something little, he's going to reach down and swipe at our good little friend Cosmo Moonfit, who is blessed with abundant luck and is missed by this great, huge, sweeping fist. It's about the size of your entire torso. And so there we have it, and it is your all's turn. Anyone doing any missile fire? No? Okay. How about any spells?
No.
No spells for sure. Okay, now we're in melee. Emeleth, what do you do with your keen elven
swinging that sword?
All right. You guys have done 12 points of damage to this ogre.
I'm forgetting. I'm not rolling to hit.
Yeah, you got to roll to hit.
So I had a habit, and I rolled the wrong damage die.
Because the odd trains you.
Yeah. Into the Odd. We play a lot of Into the Odd and games built on the Into the Odd chassis, as it were. And so we don't even roll to hit anymore. But we have to in this.
I missed.
You missed. How about Raw Dog?
Let's try again. And that time I think I need a 14 and I hit.
All right. Now let's do some serious damage. Come on.
Yeah, let's...
Because you're only about halfway there with this guy. Let me put it that way.
All right. Well, that's 7 more.
Hey, that's 19. That's what we're talking about. That's what we're talking about. Total of 19. Oh, Cosmo, what can you do? Can you come to our aid?
Well, we'll see here. I need a 14. Let's see what I get. An 8. That's not going to do it.
That's not going to help at all. And our ogre friend turns around to smash, but he rolls a 1. He slips in some guano and falls on his ass. He's going to lose a turn, giving you guys a vital window of opportunity here. And so, Cosmo, why don't you go ahead and make another attack on him real quick?
Very well.
While the rest of you are waiting, you can go ahead and roll your attacks, and let me know how you did whenever I call on you. You guys get two turns in a row here, so make them count.
Important point here. You say he slips. He is not prone, or he does not fall to the ground, or give me any kind of...
he does. He slips. He's on his ass. Yeah.
Does that confer any kind of bonus, or...
Not that I'm aware of in the moment.
But, fortunately, that doesn't matter because, well, it might have mattered. But anyway, 17 is going to hit, and I rolled a 4. That's going to be 5 points. So that's not bad for a little dagger.
No, not at all. You got 24 points of damage to this ogre. How about you, Raw Dog?
That's a miss.
Oh, and it's a miss. How about Emeleth?
Okay. I think you said roll 2.
What's that?
I could have sworn you said roll 2.
Well, we're going to have an extra turn, but go ahead and this is your first one.
Okay. Okay. I missed the first one.
Okay. So you miss. Okay. Now, is he struggling to get up? Cosmo, make another attack.
Very well. Let us see what shall happen here. Ooh, 13 just barely misses.
Oh, no. How about you, Raw Dog?
Oh, nope.
No, MLS, it's up to you. It's up to you, MLS.
16.
Okay, that's going to hit him. Roll that damage. Roll that damage. What'd you roll? Your laugh. You're making a face. What'd you roll? 1? Well, guess what? You guys had done 24 points of damage to him. As aficionados of the module will know, he had 25 hit points. It's exactly what you needed to knock him down to 0 hit points. And
Praise GM.
He falls down to the ground and lands. He was already down, but he dies. And in that room that he ran out of, you can see there's a huge leather bag in that room. And I imagine you guys might want to check that out.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Now, you guys are all wounded pretty badly here. I imagine you're just hoping so badly that there's somehow conveniently be, all kinds of cure light wounds, scrolls, or potions in here. But inside the leather bag, you actually find 7 large sacks. When you start looking through them, you do find 287 silver pieces. You find a hard cheese.
Ooh, Parmigiano Reggiano, I love it.
Yeah, and 182 copper pieces. And 91 electrum pieces. And in another bag, there's 289 gold pieces.
How much?
Another 289.
Okay.
And there's also a keg of brandy. That's nice brandy. In fact, you think the value of that might be like 80 gold pieces or so. And then in the 6th bag, there's 303 copper pieces. And in the 7th bag, there's another 241 gold pieces, apparently. And that's what you find in here. There's also a heap of old bones in one corner, which I don't know if anyone wants to go check out that heap of old bones.
I don't know. I'm not too interested in a heap of old bones when we got all this gold and silver and copper. We're rich, sort of. And and we got brandy. I say we celebrate. By me drinking the whole thing, a keg myself.
I went to poke at the bones with my 10-foot pole.
You're going to poke at the bones Well, you do poke at the bones enough to realize they're just covering up some other stuff. And in that pile of bones, you find 6 arrows that seem rather special. In fact, there are 6 +1 magical arrows. And you find a scroll with 3 Cure Light Wounds spells on it.
Woot.
Also, in the same moment, because you are an elf, and merely by being in proximity to a secret door, you detect them without really even looking, and you have a very high chance of that, and you do realize that in this cave is a secret door. Otherwise, there seems to be no other exits deeper into the caves of chaos, except for this. Do you want to open the secret door?
Yes.
You open the secret door, and we'll find out next time what's on the other side, as we convene next time for more Dungeons and Dragons.
You know, if there are girls there, I want to do them.
That's right. Where's the Mountain Dew?
Hey everyone, if you like this podcast, consider leaving us a good rating and or review, and subscribe to us wherever you can. We've got a YouTube channel and a Discord server, as well as merchandise available at TeePublic. Find our website at GooniesWorldPodcast.com. Email us at GooniesWorldPodcast@gmail.com. You can find all those links and more at linktree/GooniesWorld. Thanks for listening.